2 of the Post-it Podcast. I'm your host, Kazzandra Romero, and I'm so glad to be back today. I am joined with a new co-host, Samantha Delgadillo. Hi, Sam.
Hey, Cassie.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm so excited to be here doing this podcast. I've always wanted to do a podcast, so it's like checking it off like my bucket list, sort of.
That's awesome. You are a senior, so it's perfect timing. Get all those goals off of your list, which is perfect.
Check.
We are joined with a special guest today, Coach Lisa Cantu. Hi, Coach Cantu.
Hi, Cassie. Hi, Sam.
Hi. We actually saw you this morning at the school board ceremony.
Yes.
How was that? How was that organizing? Because you did organize it, right?
Yes. It's become kind of like a exciting, yet I still get nervous. Kind of, you want to make sure that everything goes off correctly. I was just telling someone earlier that, I do a little diagram of how I want it to look. And then I get permission. Is this okay? And then we send it out to everybody who's involved, make sure everybody knows what to do. And you think like everything's going to go, well. And we were just talking about how sometimes things don't go the way we plan them, But we have to be ready to just, hey, let's cover up with this. And sometimes people don't even know. And it just, it goes off perfectly. And it's all about just getting the students involved in, celebrating whatever it is. And today was a school board. And that's really important to let our school board members know that we appreciate them. But, putting it all together last night, I coached powerlifting also, so I got home at 11:30 from the meet yesterday, and I thought, oh my God, do I have everything ready for tomorrow? And I got to get here a little bit earlier, but it all went well, thank God.
Yeah.
So
it was a beautiful ceremony. I think seeing all the clubs and organizations of PSJA come together, and then we at the end everyone gathered together for a big picture, and I was like, wow, this is awesome.
It looks so cool.
And we still have other clubs that weren't even there, but just to know, wow, this is a majority of them, and it was awesome, honestly.
And that's my goal, is to get everybody. I want every student here in our school that, no matter what the organization is that they know that they are valued, that they are important to our school. And, it's just, I don't know if you all are at this point yet, but I was in the back watching, and I started to tear up. I get chills, as the kids are talking, as the groups are performing. It makes me so proud to, be a bear. And
definitely, yes, definitely. Especially the mariachi. Oh my, they're beautiful.
They were so
beautiful.
Good. Amazing.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
I would contract them, honestly.
No, yeah, I would too.
No, it's awesome. Yes. So tell us a little bit about yourself. We know that you like to organize a lot of the events around campus, but what else do you do outside of school, and what do you like to do?
Okay, thank you for asking. Well, first of all, I like to organize events, but that wasn't always my thing. I think one day they just said, hey, can you do this? And I said, well, sure. And then it just went on to one. I think I started with signings for baseball. And I did one in 2010 right after I started teaching here. And then after that, it just kind of continued and asking me to do different things. And so now I do a lot of different events, like the school boards, the signings, the pep rallies, red ribbon pep rallies at the elementary schools. I do just anytime that there is any kind of celebration, they ask me to help plan things out, and I love it. I do get nervous every time, but it's just because I want it to work well. It helps me to connect with people in our community. I'm a little bit shy, but that helps me to be able to talk to them, and because I am from the community. You asked me to tell you a little bit about myself. I was born here in FAR, San Juan area. We moved back and forth from FAR and San Juan, but I was always a student at PSJA schools. Graduated from PSJA High School in 1986.
Awesome.
It was across the street, yes. I was a cheerleader. I was homecoming queen. I tried to be an athlete when I was younger, but when I was in high school, I loved track. They wouldn't let us do both cheer and sports.
Oh, wow.
They would not. So that's why I encourage, my cheerleaders to try and be in different organizations. And I think it's important to, be all that you can try to be. Sometimes it's hard, but, if you have the effort or make the effort and manage your time, it works out well. Then I got married very young. I was 20. I had two daughters. Both went to school here in the PSJ schools. One graduated in 2009. She went on to be in the Air Force, and then one graduated in 2013. She was also a cheerleader, and she is now a nurse practitioner in San Antonio.
Awesome.
I'm divorced. I've been here. I'm married to my job. I'm married to my job. I love it. But during football season, I am here from 5:30 in the morning, usually until about 6:30 at night, Monday through Wednesday. Thursday and Friday until 11 after games. And then on Saturday mornings, I'm here as well. Sometimes on Sundays, I come in to do other things just to prepare for the week. That's from August to the end of, like the beginning of November. Then we have cheer competition season until January. We had 1 week off. We start cheering for basketball tonight. Then we go into tryout season up to March. We go to camp in June, and I have July off.
So busy. That seems
no
so busy.
time off
All the time.
whatsoever.
Yeah, but that's my life,
Yeah.
so.
Well, you can tell you really like cheer, right? Because you mentioned earlier that you did cheer in high school,
Yes.
and then now you're coaching cheer.
Yeah.
So what about it makes you enjoy it so much?
Well, so when I was a cheerleader in high school, we only cheered for football. That was it. And, cheerleading season really didn't last very long. When my daughters were in school, they were cheerleaders as well, so I knew the side of cheer parent. So I know what it feels like to be a cheerleader, and how the interpersonal skills between girls and, in a team, how, things happen, what the expectations are from your teachers, from your coaches as a student. I remember that, and then as a cheer mom, I remember what it was like to be there for my kids when they came home and said, this is happening, or, I'm so excited about this, or, whatever it was that they were feeling, they came to share with me. So as a cheer mom, I remember that. Then when they asked me to be a cheer coach, because I was a volunteer mom, and then, when I was teaching here, they asked me, hey, can you help with this, whatever, as a cheer mom? And I said, sure. So one year, the principal said, do you mind coaching? And I was like, oh, my God. And I had done it in middle school, coached 1 year or something like that. And my girls were little, so it was real hard for me. But at that point, my daughter was a senior in high school, and I said, well, sure, and I'll do it. And so to me, cheerleading is about... I tell my girls when they come to the tryout meeting, I said, cheerleading is more than just wearing the little skirt, because a lot of people say, oh, that little skirt that they wear and whatever, but it's more about that. Yes, you're building skills, to be a cheerleader, the stunts, for all that. But to me, the most important thing is to build a human being, to be confident, to know that you have value in yourself, to learn. To learn that you have to bring out excitement and spirit in other people, in your crowd, and you're the one that is at the head sometimes of all the events. They're looking to you, and you're the one. I tell them, you're the one who has that spirit, that look on your face that they want to, be like, what I mean? Like if you're cheering, they're gonna want to cheer with you. If you're, all sad and bored, well, they're gonna be like that too, So you're kind of the one that's carrying that spirit on for other people. And I also tell them that little girls,
Yes.
little girls look up to them. Little boys look up to them, and they want to be like them when they grow up. I have girls on my team that were in cheer clinics when they were 4 and 5 years old, and now they're on my cheer team. And that's like the whole full circle for me, that you're building them up when they're little, and there's something that they look forward to. And some of them realize that they don't like it as much as they thought. And that's okay, but it's something that they get to experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I can say that I still see the cheerleader in you. At the pep rallies, you hype up the crowd. It's so awesome. You do a great job organizing them. We see all of the cheerleaders, the dancers, the the flag boys, the JROTC, the choir, everyone comes together, and the students are so hyped.
I know.
It's awesome. It's
and
awesome.
you mentioned that you get shy or you're shy at your core.
Yes.
You don't show it at all. Like
Yes.
you have this spirit. It's
And
so
I guess
exciting.
that's what I love about the pep rallies
Yeah.
is that I'm able to mask that shyness with everybody's excitement. I'm trying to like get you to come out and be have fun and play in the game, and for people not to be shy, because as we grow up and we become adults and we're teaching or in an office or whatever, I want you all to remember, I remember we were at a pep rally or in school or whatever, and that helps you to make friends with other people. When you go to college, that's so important to me, is for you to learn how to make friends with different cultures and different kinds of people, and because that's how you build your life. So
Do you feel that your high school experience, because you mentioned you're a cheerleader, almost an athlete,
almost.
Homecoming queen, do you feel like those experiences really, is that what you try to put forward in this school and in the spirit of PSJA?
Yes. I think that's what drives me, is that I want our students, all students, to have the experiences that really do last a lifetime. Because I'm 55 years old, and I remember what it's like to walk. I can remember walking through the hallway and my friends, and I want you all to have the same feelings. The excitement of being and screaming, yelling in the pep rally, or being at the game, or being if you get to go on the friendship line to go and exchange a basket, or just to be, and just like you were down there in the school board events, or anything, just the fact that you are experiencing all of that, that's going to last forever, and then that's something that you're going to talk to your children about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's so something I cherish a lot, those memories.
Yes.
And it hits me. I'm a junior, but at the school board ceremony, one of the members said, "These are the memories that are gonna last, a lifetime. Like, these are the best memories you're gonna be making." And I was like, "Wow, I only have a year and a half maybe left." And so it's crazy, because it's like I'm already growing up, and to me, it might be a long time, but it's also going to go by so quick.
Yes, it does.
And it's scary, but it's exciting, and it's nerve-wracking. It's a mix of everything.
Yeah,
but
it is.
I love being a bear, and so I think it's going to be worth it.
Good.
Yes.
Good. I'm glad that you have that feeling already, because you're sharing it with all your guests that are going to be coming onto the podcast. You know what I mean? And,
Yes.
and it really does. You think, oh my God, it's a year. It's a lot of time. No, it goes
It's
by.
gonna go by so quick.
fast.
Yeah.
Later on, you're going to be sitting in my seat, and they're going to be interviewing you.
hopefully.
No, yeah. Because I thought I had a long time, and now look at me. I'm like, spring semester of
know.
senior year, I'll be gone
Yeah.
soon. I have to adult now. Like,
What are your best memories of the senior year?
I think the football games, in the season, interviewing people, because that's truly what I love to do, and it's what I want to do with my future, and just being with all my friends, making new friends, even though it's the last year. It's just so much fun, and it's just an experience that I never really thought I would care about or cherish so much, and it's just so much fun.
I think also as you get older, you're different than you were when you were a freshman. I see it. I teach freshmen, and they're at a different level than, seniors.
Yes.
And so as you grow up, you start to take on this different persona, and the different expectations and what you really want. I see seniors now that really thinking or talking to the freshmen and saying, you all need to step it up, and and at that time you didn't even know what it was like to be a bear, and so now what it is, and not only just to be a bear, just to be confident in yourself, to live it in the world the way that you've been learning.
Well, you mentioned about staying here in the Valley. You've stayed here in the Valley your entire life. So does that mean you went to UT Pan Am?
Yes. At the time, it was UTPA. Yeah, and I had actually thought of wanting to be a doctor when I was young, when I was in school. And then the last year, I was a senior, and my husband at the time, or not at the time, but I had met him when I was 15. And my parents didn't let me go out with him, and finally did when I was 18. And so after that, I said I didn't want to go away to college because he was going to be here. He was older than I was. And so that's why I had already been accepted to Texas State. And that's where I was so excited to go. And I ended up staying, and which is, there are no regrets in life for me. Things don't always go the way that we planned them, like I've said it earlier, but I learned a lot through that. But I stayed here, and I ended up going to UTPA to become a teacher. And so that I remember thinking, like, I wanted to be grown up so bad. I thought about, like, I'm going to go to college to be a teacher so I can stay home when I have children with them, And I was, I'd stay home. When they got home from school, I was home because I was a teacher during the summer. I got to, take them on we'd go to the park and whatever. So we got to spend all that time together. It wasn't until, like I said, my daughter was a senior that I became a coach. And then that's when all my time started going into that. I don't really have free time anymore. And when they come home, they're like, "Mom, don't you have time to spend with me?" I said, "No, you all left me, so I had to find something else to do."
I'm married, guys. Yeah. I'm married to this school.
Yes. And they get jealous sometimes. They're, "Why do you have to be at school? Why do you have to be at work with those girls?" And I'm like, "Those are my girls."
My mom's a teacher too, and she'll be talking about her students because she coaches as well, and she'll be talking about the girls she coaches. And I'm like I'm kind of like, like, come on, I want you to.
Yes, yeah.
But no, I understand.
Yeah.
So what hobbies do you partake in outside of school?
When I have time.
Yeah, when
Yes,
free
when you have
time.
time.
The little free time that is available.
I like to run. That kind of keeps me sane. I used to run 4 miles a day when I started coaching. It ended. I like to work out when I can, which is how I started to be, or like it helped me become a powerlifting coach. I like to paint. I like to, I do crafts, all kinds of different kinds of craft stuff.
Do you have any paintings or crafts you can show us?
I actually have some, that I could bring. I used to sell. I would make like crosses and paint them, and I would sell those. And right now, I'm in the last phases of having a house built for myself.
Oh,
yes, having a house built,
That's
and
awesome.
so I'll be filling it with lots of my crafts and paintings, and y'all are invited to come see them.
Thank you.
Party at Coach Cantu's house.
Yes. Oh, that's a theme right now with all my girls. They're the cheerleaders. They're like, whenever your house is done, we're gonna go have a party at your house. I'm like, wait until you're older.
At least graduate, please.
Yeah.
How do you manage your time between your school duties and things you like to do outside of school? You mentioned that, you're building a house, the crafts, also your family.
Yeah. It's let me think. When everyone was sheltered at home during COVID, I started to realize how much time I spent at work. Like I told you earlier, that any extra time that would make my life easier here at work, cause painting posters, doing all that, because it's not just the practice. You also have to prepare, what are you going to do at the Pep Rally, the games, getting the stuff ready, painting the posters that are going to be up, and all that stuff. It takes time because I also teach. I have to, teach my classes and then also do the stuff on the side. So during COVID, I realized how much time I was spending at work, and I tried to, when we started back again, I tried to tell myself, this is the deadline time, where you have to come home. And I try to spend as much time with my siblings, my parents, at least dinner, once a week. My children, one lives in Florida. And I drive, it's a 14-hour drive, and I'll drive sometimes on a weekend over there just to go and see her for a day and come back. And I have a grandson now, so I try to go over there at least every other month, just to see him, make sure he knows, he remembers Gamma. And then my other daughter, since she's in San Antonio, I go over, I like to hike. Right before COVID, I had visited or hiked like 7 state parks in Texas.
Oh, wow.
And all by myself. And so I would go, and then COVID hit, and I feel like when I was at home, I got scared to go back out. I'm not scared of getting COVID. I just got so used to being by myself that when I went out to hike again, I got a little bit anxiety, or
Yeah,
I don't
I
know
think
what
that
it
happened
was.
to a lot of
I
us.
think so, and I've tried to get out of that. I'm let's fight it out. I'm gonna get better at this. I'm not gonna let anything get me down. So I've tried to go back, but anyways, I go to San Antonio a lot to go hiking. I go spend I'll take my daughter out to lunch and then I'll come back. Well, it'll be a day visit just to come back, and so whenever those days are possible, that I don't have a game on a Saturday or something that I have to do, I make the time. And people tell me, well, don't you have to rest? And I said, I don't have time to rest. I have to keep the relationships with my family. I have to keep the connection to my job, because my job is important, not because of the money, not because of the expectations, but because y'all are relying on me to make sure that everything is, fun and, something to look forward to.
And you mentioned that, you mentioned your schedule earlier, and right now when you were talking about it, and you seem like you're always busy. So I guess, what's like the time of year of the school year when you're like less busy? Because football, it's like mostly, I guess, cheer, but then in the spring there's like competition, so it's like...
I would say right now is not as busy. We're cheering for basketball. We're going to start, maybe a soccer game or two. We don't do as much for the other sports, which is not so fair, but there's also other things going on. And then, so we cheer for basketball. We'll cheer for soccer a little bit. We have tryouts in March. I have to meet with parents in February. Then probably the month of March, we don't do very much. Then we start practice again in April. So during the school year, I would say March. The last 2 weeks of March are like maybe.
Relax.
I don't
The
know.
last 2 weeks. Because you have spring break and then those last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
So
it's something.
good.
Unless they say, hey, we need you to do this for us or cheer at some, we're always ready to go, so.
March
So-
is a good month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So is March like your favorite season of the school year,
Of the school
or
year?
is it football season?
Football season is
Yeah.
my favorite.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we all agree on that.
Yeah, football season's pretty fun.
Yeah, there are times, and this year was real overwhelming. I don't know why. It was just the busiest I think I've ever felt. And it was, I don't know. There are times when I think like I'm too old to be doing all that I do, but then I can't see myself not doing it, as long as I feel like I'm still doing a good job, that the kids are still interested, then I feel like I'm doing a good job. And when I feel that, kids are bored, then maybe that's when I'll stop. I always say I'm going to die in the middle of a pep rally.
Don't say that.
I'll be like
my
but I'm going to be like 85 years old in the middle of a pep rally.
You're like,
with a spirit stick
Let's
in my
go,
hand.
Bear Pride! And it just collapses and everyone's like traumatized.
No.
I promise I won't do that.
No, please.
Please.
That'll be so traumatizing.
At least until after the Pep Rally.
And then they can put me in the glass box like the bear.
Oh my god.
Here lies Coach Cantu.
Sorry.
We are not going to put anyone in a glass
Yeah.
box. Anybody know?
It's the running joke
It's
in
the
my
family.
family.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we can end this podcast with asking you our famous saying, as you know it, once a bear, always a bear. And I know you mentioned that you were a bear, your children are bears, even your parents were bears. So that's like 3 generations of bears. So what does that phrase mean to you, I guess, in the sense of everything and everything that you do for the school, too?
Well, I feel that the minute that you step onto this campus as a freshman, I feel like that you have to take on this new whole attitude that you are a bear. That being a bear means the spirit that goes with not only football games, but just every event, how you treat people, I feel I think it's the most important thing of our school, our culture here in our school. I mean, there are different schools in PSJ, but PSJ Bears, it's like there's a love for each other, and not everybody. I always tell you, you don't have to love each other, but treat each other with love. And I think that is real important, and that is how most of our kids are here in the school. I feel like when you come onto this campus and become a Bear, you got to treat each other like family. I feel like that stays in your heart forever. It takes a little bit longer for some people, and sometimes it takes until you graduate and you step away and you say, you know what, that was pretty great. That was a great experience in high school. I have students that I still communicate with on Facebook, and they still recall a lot of the memories that they had, the experiences that they had. I have one student who graduated from law school, and she invited me to her graduation. Now she's invited me to her wedding. She used to call me mom here in class. I used to teach U.S. history, and those relationships that we build with our students, that's one student builds with other students. That's a Bear family.
It's unforgettable.
It's unforgettable, and that to me is what once a Bear, always a Bear means.
And you definitely live it. Definitely.
Yes, definitely.
Your entire family. Your entire family. Yes.
I try to.
And there's so much pride with that
There is.
phrase,
Yes.
and just being a Bear in general.
Yeah.
Coming to this school is just, I love it. The environment, the atmosphere is just amazing.
Yeah.
It feels like we're all one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I say, like you said, my parents graduated from here. Yeah, they graduated in 1962 from the school across the street, and they met when they were 15. My dad's turning 80. He's a teacher here also, and so they've been together for 65 years, and they still remember. She was in band, and he was a football player. He went to play football in college also.
Oh, wow.
And,
Your classic love story. That's
Oh
so
yeah, that's a
cute.
good story. That's why it's hard to live up to that man. He's a good guy.
Yes, Mr. Cantu, he's awesome.
Yeah, but they always talked about go Bears, and they would take us to the Bear games, and they'd take us to cheer clinics, and they always built that Bear pride within us. Well, for me, my younger brother graduated from PSJ North.
Traitor.
No, I know. But like I said, then I still feel like, all PSJ schools, came from the Bears, because Bears are first. And we respect all schools. We respect the Raiders, we respect Southwest and Memorial. All our families grew from there, and they're all branches from there. When you continue it into your, the Bear pride to your children, I always hope that they would, hey, bring your kids back so they can come to Bears.
Yeah.
But that might not happen, but that's okay. They're going to know all about being a Bear.
Yes,
They will. They will.
definitely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. It was such a pleasure to have you on with us
Yes,
for
thank
this
you.
first episode, opening up the new season.
Yes.
It's awesome. Thank you so
Starting
much, and
with
we
that
wish you the
spirit.
best.
I loved it. I really enjoyed talking to you ladies. Thank you
Yes.
so much, and go Bears.
Go
Go
Bears!
Bears!